Good evening. It's Wednesday, the 28th of December, and it's time for the news on RIK2. President Nikos Anastasiadis had a meeting today with his negotiating team at the winter presidential residence in Troodos ahead of the Geneva negotiations aimed at reaching a settlement agreement of the long-standing Cyprus problem. Anastasiadis discussed with his associates the strategy and tactics at the negotiations in Geneva, where he will travel to meet Turkish Cypriot leader Mustafa Kemal on January the 9th. The day after tomorrow, the president is scheduled to travel to Athens for a meeting with Greek Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras in the presence of the foreign ministers of Cyprus and Greece. Government spokesman Nikos Christodoulidis has said that the efforts ahead of Geneva are being intensified, pointing out that the negotiations have reached a critical juncture now. He added that all efforts aim at creating those conditions that would help yield a positive outcome on the discussion for security and guarantees in Geneva. The permanent secretaries of the foreign ministries of Greece and Turkey met in Ankara today to prepare a possible meeting between the Greek Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras and Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan. Sources in Athens said the Greek government aims at having a summit before the Geneva negotiations, but Ankara seems to want the meeting to take place at the same time as the Geneva talks. They also said that Greek Foreign Minister Nikos Kotsas will meet with the new United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres in New York on January the 6th to discuss his role in the Geneva negotiations. Cyprus's Foreign Minister Ioannis Kassoulidis may also attend the meeting. Outgoing Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon had been personally involved in the negotiations, having opened the talks in Montpellier in November. A new intercommunal event was called by several trade unions and peace organisations of both Cypriot communities in the buffer zone in Nicosia to express their support for the Geneva negotiations. The event is scheduled to take place on January the 10th at 6 p.m. Cyprus time at a football field near Lydra Palace. The groups involved in the organisation of the gathering extended an open invitation to groups, parties and other forces who believe in the prospect of a settlement and of reunification to join them by endorsing their call. A similar event was held during the failed second phase of the Montpellier negotiations. President Anastasiadis has sent a personal letter of condolence to Russian President Vladimir Putin regarding the plane crash in the Black Sea in the early hours of December the 25th. He expressed profound sorrow on behalf of the government and the people of the Republic of Cyprus and extended his deepest condolences to the people of the Russian Federation and particularly to the families of the victims and their loved ones. He said that in these difficult moments our thoughts and prayers are with the families of the bereaved. Russian investigators looking into the crash of a military plane on Christmas Day that killed all 92 on board believe a fault with its wing flaps was the reason it plunged into the Black Sea. The 3 black box flight recorders from the aircraft were found yesterday, amid unconfirmed reports that authorities had grounded all aircraft of the same type. The Defence Ministry confirmed that 1 box which recorded conversations on board has been found. A Russian news portal said it had obtained a readout of one of the pilot's last words, indicating a problem with the wing flaps. He was reported to have said, "Commander, we are going down." The Interfax news agency separately cited an unnamed investigative source as saying preliminary data showed the wing flaps had failed and not worked in tandem. As a result, the plane had not been able to gather enough speed after takeoff and had dropped into the sea, breaking up on impact. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has made a symbolic visit to Pearl Harbor with President Barack Obama, commemorating the victims of Japan's World War II attack and promising that his country would never wage war again. Abe said he offered his sincere and everlasting condolences to the souls of those who lost their lives in the attack on Pearl Harbor, as well as to the spirits of all the brave men and women whose lives were taken by a war that commenced as a result of the attack. However, Abe stopped short of apologizing for the attack, a step that would have irked his conservative supporters. Carrie Fisher, who rose to fame as Princess Leia in the Star Wars films and later endured drug addiction before going on to tell her story as a best-selling author, has died at the age of 60. Carrie had suffered a heart attack last Friday on a flight to Los Angeles from Britain, where she was shooting the third season of the British sitcom Catastrophe. Fisher, a mental health advocate who spoke about her own struggles with bipolar disorder and cocaine addiction, was the daughter of Debbie Reynolds and the late singer Eddie Fisher. She made headlines last month when she disclosed that she had a 3-month love affair with her Star Wars co-star Harrison Ford 40 years ago. A young man from Romania was found dead in his house in Larnaca last night in an apparent drug overdose. The man was found by his wife when he returned home. Police who visited the house said they had found 2 syringes, a lighter and a spoon containing a substance believed to be drugs. A safe containing about €400,000 was stolen last night from a house in Yermasoia, Limassol, belonging to a 39-year-old Russian woman. She told police that the safe was probably stolen between 4:30 in the afternoon and 7 at night while no one was in the house. The safe had been screwed onto the wall inside a wardrobe next to another safe containing jewellery, which was left untouched. Police said the thieves gained entry into the house by forcing open an aluminium French window. The house has an alarm system, which, however, had not been activated when the residents left. Police are examining CCTV footage for clues leading to the identities of the robbers. And now a look at the weather. It will be mostly cloudy in the morning tomorrow, with local rain, showers and snow over higher ground, with the weather clearing up later in the day. Winds will be moderate to fresh, mostly southwesterly, becoming strong in windward areas force 6. The sea will generally be stormy, with waves of up to 4 metres. Temperatures will reach 14 Celsius inland and in coastal areas and 3 over the mountains. More rain and snow is forecast for the next 3 days, with temperatures dropping on Friday and going down further in the next 2 days. Local rain and showers and also snow over higher ground are expected on Saturday and Sunday, with temperatures dropping further. That's all for today. Join us tomorrow again for more news in English. Have a very good evening.